Salut survivors! Welcome back to SolutOdka's channel in Medieval Dynasty Guide series. There are plenty of tips for the fantastic game that is Medieval Dynasty. But in this video guide, I will focus on what I think are the key important tips for players that are beginning with the game, in order to help you getting a good head start. These are the tips for the first day and the first season in the game. For more advanced tips, you can refer to some of my other topic-specific guides about farming, money making, and how villagers work, to name a few. Therefore, I will first give tips for the first day, and then share key tips for the following days in the game. Please share, like, and subscribe for more Medieval Dynasty videos. To be noted is that this game is in early access, therefore we should expect balance patches and additional content soon. Now, let's get straight to the video, survivors. For the day 1 beginner tips, I will first recommend that upon having your initial quest from Unighost, you should select a location for your settlement. There are numerous considerations for this, but the most important one is to select a relatively flat area. This is because the different buildings' footprints only allow for a minimal slope. So while it might be looking cool to build in the mountains when you're starting up, it is highly recommended to select an area that is not too steep. Then, the following quest will be about building your house. You should note that you have the option to change the construction materials of the house, but I recommend not doing so. You will spend precious time and resources if you decide to do that, and you will eventually tear down this house for a bigger one anyway. So just get the house built with basic materials, fast, and move on to the next step. When the first night will come, you will be proposed to sleep. I suggest not to sleep, as you actually don't get anything from it except healing in case you have lost health points. But rather use the time to chop trees, gather logs, and build your village. Next will be to build 2 important buildings before recruiting people to join your village. These are the food storage and the resource storage. By building the food storage, you will earn enough building technology points to unlock the resource storage building. Therefore, you should start by the food storage building. Now, in order to unlock this food storage building, you will need to earn farming technology points. The easy and useful way to do that at first is to simply build a field. Therefore, I recommend building a field of 30 plots to get started, either 5x6 or 3x10. Please note that you actually are required to build only 26 plots to unlock the building technology at the current stage of development of the game. You just need to build this field first, and no need to fertilize nor seed it yet for you to unlock access to the food storage building. Before discussing the next steps, I need to mention that some players would recommend stealing in villages. Some tools, for example, to help you boost your start. This is up to you on how you want to play it, but this can be highly fruitful to steal a site and go harvest the other villages during nighttime, for example, but you need to know that you can lose dynasty reputation by doing so. So once again, this is up to you how you desire to play it. Now, once you have set your first house, your food storage and your resource storage buildings, you have the foundations to move on to the next steps in setting up your village. Some important tips for these following days. You will have numerous quests proposed to you, and it is good to do some of these quests. But should you need to prioritize, I recommend to prioritize the main storyline quest, because this quest line is the one that unlocks your maximum number of buildings for your village. The game is divided into seasons, and you are starting during springtime. The various seeds in the game have specific seasons when they can be planted. Therefore, you should try to get your farm set up rapidly for the said seeds. For this, you will need to purchase fertilizer and seeds. I would recommend seeding at least 10 seeds of cabbage and 10 seeds of wheat. And when you are able to build a barn, ideally then also 10 seeds of flax. However, this one is slightly harder than cabbages and wheat. For example, you will then harvest your first cabbages in the following summer, providing you seeds which can then be planted again during the very same summer, for another cabbage harvest during autumn of the same year. These cabbages will permit you to cook a dish called potage, with very good food value for you and your citizens, and a very good value for money when selling them. From these initial 10 seeds during your first spring, you will then have plenty of cabbage seeds to plant during your second spring. You will be needing cash to purchase fertilizer, seeds, and some blueprints. In order to get this initial cash, there are two main ways besides stealing. You can efficiently craft wooden hoes and sell them for 18 coins each, or you can harvest berries which sell for 1 coin per piece. Until you have set up an economy from your village that generates income, I would highly suggest to be stingy and not overspend. You need to prioritize your expenses early on. Now, you will then be looking at having people to join your village. A couple of key points in this regard. Several buildings for NPC workers are more useful at first and more efficient than others. Therefore, I would recommend having a woodshed with a worker that has a good extraction skill to be employed there, and provide you with the wood your village will need. Another very useful building to have is a barn, worked by field workers with a farming skill. They will be working your fields for the food your village will need. Lastly, this can be to have a hunting lodge with a hunter with a good hunting skill. Therefore, you should be quite selective on which NPCs you recruit. You should use the Alt key in order to see what skills they have prior to recruiting them, and focus on extraction, farming, and hunting skills. Once you get these NPCs to join your village, you need to manage their moods. Therefore, you need to ensure to always have food for them in the food storage building. Also, always have firewood in the resource storage building. And of course, provide them with houses. You should also try to have your villagers positioned in your houses in such a way that they are lodged as future husband and wife, trying to reduce the difference of age between them, ideally not more than 5 years apart, to help them be married and afterwards have children as early as possible. Again, there are many other tips, but I think these are the key ones for you to get started quickly for an efficient village. Last important tip is that when you are traveling, you can be attacked by animals. You should always have spears equipped on you. And when you are under attack, keep cool and take time to precisely target the animal's head, as in this game, this matters a lot. I hope these tips will be helpful for those of you that are starting, so you can embark on a pleasant journey of establishing your own successful dynasty. For more in-depth guides on specific topics, I invite you to watch my other video guides. To mention a few, I created some videos about farming, some explaining how your villagers work, also others to help you generate cash in an efficient manner. You can refer to the playlist to pick the guide you wish to watch. If you have any comments, suggestions, additional tips, feel free to leave a message in the comments section below. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe so you won't miss out on my future videos. Thank you for watching and see you on my next Medieval Dynasty videos. Until then, have a good day. Cheers.